A Democratic House rep from Texas, Jasmine Crockett, cannot understand why so many black people love President Trump. Let's talk about it. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about a Democratic House rep from Texas, Jasmine Crockett, not being able to understand why so many black people love, appreciate, and or just support President Trump. Now, this really shouldn't be that difficult to figure out. Before we get to some real political reasons and before we get to what she said, I just want to state the obvious. Before 2015, when Trump and Melania came down the escalator to announce his run for president, nobody ever said that Trump was a racist. Nobody ever said that Trump hated black people. Trump was beloved by the community. We embraced him as one of our own. And this goes back many, many years to the 80s. You got pictures of him with Muhammad Ali, Rosa Parks, getting awards. He funded Jesse Jackson's not one, but two runs for the presidency. He always contributed money. Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, NAACP. Okay, rappers loved him. He was in the Fresh Prince for an episode. We loved him there. He was on an episode of G Unit Radio at the height of 50 Cent's popularity with Tony Yayo. Not even 50. He wasn't even there. And Trump appeared on this radio show in person. This is long before any kind of presidential aspiration was announced. This is just Trump, being a friend to the black community. We've always loved President Trump. So it was only in 2015 where that changed. People like Jasmine Crockett don't really want to acknowledge that. Now, before I go any further and get into some more political reasons why we support Trump, let's get to the video here. Of course, this is going to be Breakfast Club, so I got to kind of do weird freeze frames and stuff like that to prevent copyrights. But of course, I will link to this video in full without my commentary in the box. If you're on IG, visit a link in the bio, go to the corresponding article on the website. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Why do you think people still love him so much? And I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like us. Like, why are there some of us that still favor him? Like, why is he still so, like, he has such a high approval rate, Trump?
I don't know that. Well, I ain't gonna say he got a high approval rate. He is doing better in his approvals than
It's
he
people like
typically.
us that, like a lot of black people.
You don't mean literally.
Fighting
like,
for it.
No, I think it is because
Okay.
they put out a poll, and I think his approval rating was 53%.
Yeah,
She's talking about black people though, right?
Yeah, I'm talking
Okay.
about us. Like, there's so many of us like that.
Yeah, I
that be
can't
fighting
explain
for
it.
this man.
I can't explain it. I have no explanations. The only thing that I can say is that number one, I'm happy to know that Trump is an anomaly.
So you don't know? You don't know? I mean, it's really easy to understand. Let's talk about who you have to run on your side. Who are your top people on your side, the Democrats? Can we just show that right quick? Because I think that's pretty important. Now, look, this right here, these are your top 5 people, according to a recent poll, in the 2028 Democratic primary. These are the top 5 people that the Democrats want to run for president. Who do we have here? First of all, nobody black. That's number one. So I don't want to hear this whole black thing. That's not really a thing on either side. And personally, I don't really care about that. Are you a good leader or not? Do you know what you're doing or not? Are you going to have this country run properly or not? We have Kamala, who's Indian, not black. You have AOC. You have Tampon Tim Walz, Gavin Newsom, and then Pete Buttigieg, a man married to a man, and they, quote unquote, purchased 2 kids. That is who we're going to try to put out in front. Why would anybody black, especially a black male, why would any of us want any of them over Trump? I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense. These people are not good for us. They're not good leaders. And Trump is the better leader. So maybe, Jasmine Crockett, that'd be a reason why we support Trump over anybody that you have.
People continue to try to be the next Trump. They are not, right? Like, we've seen it with DeSantis. He's not. We've seen it with Vivek Ramaswamy. He's not. Elon Musk, his numbers continue to drag him.
Elon Musk is not a politician. Last time I checked, Elon Musk is working for the administration. Okay. And for Vivek, I don't know about Vivek trying to be the next Trump. Maybe you had a point with DeSantis. But at the end of the day, I think we'll be just fine with J.D. Vance. Are you going to mention him? I don't think so, because I think you know that he is the best out of the pack so far. And it's going to be easy. He would be a shoe-in because he's already the vice president. You could just go from being the VP to the president.
Down, right? For whatever reason, Elon's numbers go down and Trump's still kind of linger about the same or go a little bit higher. I will say that there is a cultural aspect to Trump that is unique and unlike anything we've ever experienced. And I think that was another failure that we had.
We kind of experienced it a little bit with Barack Obama, the whole hope and change thing. That was really, really big. I mean, that was crazy. And the voting numbers suggest that it was really crazy. Imagine a black man, quote unquote, biracial, whatever, black dad getting elected not once but twice. That's not a fluke. That is something that he really did. It was a big movement. That movement, however, is over, and now it's time for Trump.
In the campaign overall is to understand that he's different. He's different. This is a guy who's had his name on buildings forever.
That's right.
And people have been like, oh, he owned it. Not really. His name is just on it, right? And so he's very good at creating this perception. He's created this perception of I am that guy, right? And he literally became the closest thing to Teflon Don that we have seen, right? Like, who has this many cases in this many jurisdictions?
He's more Teflon.
And yeah, I know.
Because of presidential immunity.
I get it. Yeah, I get it. But I'm just saying. So,
well, really what you're saying right now, these are good things. Teflon Don, you know, all the cases. Well, we knew the cases against them were BS. And that's something else that y'all don't understand. You see, this is the reason why we support Trump as well, because we know that y'all are against him. Okay, we know that you guys don't want him to be there. And we see how much you lie to us, you manipulate us, you gaslight us. The thing about Trump, love him or hate him, you can't call him a liar. You can't say that, because the things that he says are actually legitimate. The things that he says he's going to do, he does. You can't call him a liar. You can say you don't like him and that he's a racist. That's just your opinion. But factually, you can't say that he's a liar.
So I think that from a cultural aspect, like he used to be talked about in rap songs and things like that, I think it's hard for you to then say, oh no, he's a terrible person, because there's been this kind of aura around him that was created.
Trump is 78 years old. If he was such a racist and a terrible person, I think we would have heard about it before 2015, especially since he's been in the public eye for the majority of his life. Maybe you would have heard at one point before 2015, when it became politically expedient to attack him, that he was some kind of bad person.
Which may have been okay for TV, may have been okay for music, may have been okay for casinos, but it ain't okay in the Oval Office. Like, I need y'all to separate the two. Like, like I don't need it to be that everybody that kind of walks in that lane is now somehow qualified to be president of the United States, because it takes different qualities. And I think that that's why it's been so hard to kind of tear him down, is because
it's hard to tear him down because he's an effective leader. That's the thing about it. It's one thing you're missing. You're talking about all the mystique and his name and the fortune. That's one thing you could talk about, and that's fine. That's legitimate. That is an appropriate point to make. But you are neglecting to mention how he's a good leader, how his policies are actually helpful and beneficial. When you guys, Jasmine Crockett, speaking about you now, when you guys were flooding this country with illegal aliens to the tune of 20 million, at least, probably 30 million in 4 years, while you guys are doing that and unleashing crime, violence, and taxing us to death, the illegal alien problem cost us $450 billion a year from our money, from taxpayer money. When that's happening to us and we say, hey, can somebody please stop it? And then Trump comes in and stops it. We like that. We like action that is going to help us. We like when somebody hears us as regular people and they do something about what we're talking about.
Because he's different. I don't think these people are necessarily Republicans. I don't think they're necessarily going over to that side. I don't think they're necessarily MAGA. I think that they are just Trumpers, like, period. And I think MAGA is supposed to be a movement, but I believe that once he is out of the, like, way, right? Like, once he's out of the presidency.
That's what you think, that once he's done, then the movement will die. But all we going to do is continue. We already got JD right there. That's why you didn't talk about him too much, because you already know what it is. He's going to continue. He's going to be the guy that carries the torch.
If he leaves, Jesus, because he decided he a king now. But if he leaves the presidency, I don't see anybody else being able to take up the mantle. He already said J.D. Vance ain't the one.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there's nobody else
Well, I didn't hear that, but I think that we all know that J.D. Vance can most certainly do it.
that will be able to take up that mantle because he is unique.
All right, so there we go. That is your Democratic House rep from Texas, Jasmine Crockett. Not understanding or kind of being facetious. Like, I think everybody knows why Trump is popular is because the Democrats don't have any real leaders. There's no masculinity, nobody that has the right idea. They are bought and paid for, deep state, globalists. They don't have our best interests at heart. When they are in power, things do not go the way it's supposed to go. People suffer. People say, you know what, enough's enough. Let's go a different direction. This is why people love Trump, and they're not going to stop. But as I close, I want to say this. Shout out to President Trump. Shout out to everybody that voted for him. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. Shout out to you guys who did that. Even if in your very first time voting for him and you're starting to see the light now, welcome. I'm glad you have your eyes open. Hopefully we can keep this whole thing going. And again, we can. JD's right there. We got him. So come 2028, really come 2026, we could go ahead and just start running him. 2028, we can win again. Because look, seriously, as I close, I'm going to say this. Who did they have on their side? I showed you guys the front runners of 2028 on the Democratic side. AOC, Tampon Tim Walz. If you put their top runner, Kamala, against J.D. Vance, Kamala has no chance. None of them have a chance against anybody that we put up. Even if we put up a kind of a second or third tier person, they would still completely stomp the other person into wine. It's simple as that. And I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What's your opinion on what Jasmine Crockett said? Do you think she's correct, incorrect? She said some true things, some false things. Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. How you feel about J.D. Vance? How you feel about Trump? If you're a black person watching this, can you answer her question? Why do you support President Trump? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. We, the community, black people, in my humble opinion, those of us who support Trump do so because we like what he's doing. We like what he says. We like that he's straightforward and honest. That's one thing. A lot of the politicals will tell you a lie and have a straight face the entire time. Trump will tell you the truth. Whether you like it or not, you might be offended. You might be irritated. It doesn't matter because at the end of the day, the truth is the truth. I'd rather somebody upset me and defend me with the truth rather than making me feel good with a lie. Whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.